Welcome everybody to today's lesson. What we're going to be doing is we're going over a video that is shot at night with some improper speed, some rider impatience, and not very good use of rider line of sight with another vehicle. The vehicle is going to come out in front of him and he's going to crash, and we're going to go over what he did wrong and how we can use that information to prevent an accident for ourselves. All right, now that we saw the accident, we're going to go over what exactly happened here. What we have here is definitely a lot of traffic. Okay, so this is a hazard in and of itself. We have somebody to our left. He's lane filtering, so he's trying to probably get out of here. But we also have people up to the front, to our right, a little bit to our left, and that black car up there. And that one's going to be playing a significant role in what happened here, and that's going to set a lot of chain reactions. So this motorcyclist, it seems a lot like, since the accident, he is in a rush. Okay, so having a rush and being impatient is going to play a role in how you actually navigate through traffic. Are you an aggressive driver now? Are you one taking more risk because you really need to get somewhere? Taking extra risk because you're a little bit of impatient is not the right thing to do, and it's actually very dangerous to do, because then you start reducing your skill level because you're not looking for, you know, the vehicles in the road or line of sight or anything like that. But right here we have decent line of sight. We have in the center, we have an option for lane filtering. Now this is one of those things that lane filtering and lane splitting does give you, and even lane position. So that's really important here, is that it's going to give you a really good vision up front. So right now we can see that it's green light. He's in the middle of the intersection. We've got two vehicles here, relatively close distance here, but we just got off of a red light. So that's pretty normal here, but I can tell he's going to want to get out of here. So we got the black car that's going to actually start turning and merging to the left lane. That's going to cause people to have some form of reaction. Now, these brake lights don't mean that these people are applying the brakes at 100%. They're probably just tapping the brakes or kind of slowing down just a little bit to remove some of the momentum that they have, and they're going to increase their speed. So a lot of times that's what brake lights do, but not all the time. Okay. So now he's going to check his blind spots so that he can actually move into other positions. Let's go ahead and go back a little bit. Let's go over blind spots real quick for the motorcyclists. This is actually the reason why I tell a lot of people to do head checks. This way, if there's ever an emergency in front of you, you already know where your spatial awareness is. So having a spatial awareness is very important when it comes to riding with traffic especially. This way you can swerve to your left knowing for a fact that nobody is there because you just checked your blind spot 2 seconds ago and all the traffic is well behind you. So if there ever was a situation where he had to swerve, like let's say this was a swerve, he is in a good position. He knows where he's at. So this position gives you really good line of sight. Line of sight is something very important when it comes to motorcycling. You need to see where you want to go. You also need to present yourself so other motorists can actually see you. So we have the black car going from the far right lane to the far left lane, okay? So that he's going to be making decisions pretty soon coming up. He probably has to take a left turn. But we also have intersections here. This is downtown, it looks like, so we have intersections that go across and it'll allow traffic to get in front of us. So while we're speeding and increasing our speed and we get to where we want to be, since this is the rider impatience portion, where's the line of sight when it comes to this vehicle wanting to come out? You see that vehicle right there? If we scroll back just enough, I can't see that vehicle because that black vehicle is in the way now. With my high rate of speed, that vehicle that decided to pull out was because he made a guess and a judgment call based on that black vehicle. He can't see a motorcyclist speeding through all these other vehicles, and he can't judge that distance. He can't judge if he's going to make it in time. So he made that judgment call based on that black vehicle and all the other cars. For all he knows is that the motorcyclist was behind all the vehicles about 2 seconds ago. So he doesn't understand why all of a sudden this vehicle is now coming up to him. So this is roughly the moment of impact. This vehicle's already traveled almost all the way out of that far left lane where that black vehicle was, so he's definitely going to make it. And if he traveled out of the lane of that black car, he's definitely going to make it well before the other two vehicles that slowed down in front of us previously. This motorcyclist was traveling at a high rate of speed. The vehicle couldn't make that judgment call, and a lot of it had to do with his impatience of having to get in front of other vehicles. Now, I understand the impatience to that's a terrible accident. I can understand the patience to get away from other vehicles because you want to create a space cushion, but We also have to take in consideration that just because we made a space cushion doesn't mean the next hazard is not presenting itself. We always have to be concerned about any and all hazards that might be coming up. And there's the hazard. So once we pass these vehicles, which are the current hazards, we have a new hazard here. Now we have a new hazard of that black vehicle in front of us. And you've also noticed over there we have a vehicle with his lights on, his brake lights on, so now he's actually stops. So we have multiple hazards. So we passed this one. Black car is the hazard. We got out of the way of that hazard. Now that we got out of the way of that hazard, we need to look for other hazards. At this point, you need to make that really quick search, evaluate, execute. You search for that vehicle, you're evaluating it's a hazard, and you need to execute evasive maneuvers. And in this situation, what you can totally do is just roll off the throttle, have engine braking applied, move over a little bit, so that you can hopefully let that vehicle get out of your way, maybe even pace the black car to your side, because that vehicle that is deciding to go across traffic is probably making his judgment call for that black vehicle. There's a lot that goes into figuring out what causes an accident and how it causes an accident, all these different things. Let's go ahead and take our time when it comes to riding at night. Let's take our time when it comes to passing other vehicles. So speed is your friend, and we need to start treating it that way. Now, too much speed can be bad for you, and too little speed can be bad for you. We need to find that Goldilocks zone of the proper speed within traffic. You need to constantly experiment with how you do things, and then you're going to find yourself in a better position because you have the experience now when it comes to motorcycling, speed, pacing, and proper line of sight, and even your own impatience. Let's go and work on this. And if you like this type of stuff, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that join button if you really want to support the channel. Share these videos if it was something that you liked. And with that said, I hope you ride safe, be safe, and I'll be seeing you around.